When you sign up for life, you will have certain things that will come with you, certain things that are locked, and certain things that you must overcome. Because certain things cannot be accessed without certain levels of mental mastery. Otherwise, it will destroy you. So if you do not understand this, you do not understand power. You do not understand who you are. Restraint is important, limits are important for security, longevity, and maintaining power properly. These limits we've imposed on ourselves, restrictions we've given to ourselves, is our ability to master ourselves in each and every lifetime. It is more important that these limits are there until what is achieved needs to be achieved. Otherwise, you could lose everything you've ever worked for. It is extremely important that you don't eradicate certain things. The way that you order your spirit, your soul, your mind is extremely important. If you don't know these things within inside of your soul, not me talking to you like this, me talking to you with these words is you needing to seek out yourself. Because when you hear these words, you will not understand it, but you will recognize it. And by recognizing it, you will know that I have a deeper truth than can even be explained to you. I say these things with such ease because it is a part of who I am and it is a part of what I have overcome. It is a part of the essence of life itself. Many, many, many of you have been locked. And that is why there's a deep frustration with a lot of things. Because you cannot unlock these things because you have not learned what you need to learn and mastered what you need to master. You have to see that this realm of money, wealth, power is only obtained properly when you have already mastered yourself. If you have not mastered yourself and you have gained things of this world, you literally wasted time, energy, and effort. And that is okay. There's nothing wrong with it because now that you're awakened to this fact, you will have to go through the spiritual lessons and spiritual things, and some of the things that you have to go through, they're not easy. And you're on my page, so you're a person that desires wealth. You desire to express your giftings. You desire to express your soul. And you might have gone down a path that led you frustrated, unhealthy, because you felt like you had to have it, that it was yours. You felt so much that you felt lost. And some of you joined groups of peoples or cults or clubs or I don't know, covens. I don't know what you all joined. I know a lot of you have joined certain power structures that you've bound yourself to in this physical realm. And some of you will be able to free yourself, and some of you have already been scheduled for destruction. There is a dependence on how far you went with these clubs and these clans and these binds that you've made in this physical world. It's hard to not know everything. And I know because I blinded myself from my own abilities so that I could be where I am now. Because the mind has to be gone through in a certain aura. There must be certain things that are placed in certain times of your life. And if you do not attract it to you in the correct timings, because you have bent yourself to a clan, a club, a coven, something else, then you will fail. And you will waste another lifetime of you getting to be the God that you are within inside of yourself. And once you are a God, you will understand the true order and the true makers of gods. And I am that maker. I make gods. I'm not saying this to you in the physical realm for me to say I'm bigger than you and I'm more important than you, because if you take on that, then you are not belonging anywhere near me. When you understand how all things are, the big tree and the orchid that is in the tree each have their place. The orchid is not mad that the tree is bigger than it. It is grateful that it can bloom in the presence of shelter. But the human will look at the tree and go, why am I not a tree? I am an orchid. The tree is a tree because it became a tree, and the orchid is an orchid because it became an orchid. It is nothing to relay judgment on when you understand the spirituality. You just know the order of things and you know how things are. If you are an orchid that says, hey, I want to be like a tree, then you go through the process and you understand that it will probably take you 100,000 lifetimes worth of incarnating, finding yourself, sometimes getting it, sometimes not. Then learning how to get it all the time. Then learning all the stuff that you need to do in order to become a tree. In the spiritual realm, things are just as they are. You cannot change that instantly. It is instant in one dimension, but that particular dimension birthed and deathed reality within what you would understand as a second in this reality. All things happened and dissipated. A new reality was made. Like what people would understand in science as the Big Bang, boom, all of humanity created, and then it all destroyed itself and rebirthed. That happened within a second in a dimension, but we're not in that dimension because you're in the physical realm hearing my voice. If you can hear my voice, obviously more than a second has gone by. So things are going to happen differently. And so when you're connected to that deepest, most powerful part of who you are, you will know things happen quicker. Maybe not on the one dimension, which I know because I'm on it and I have already finished all things. I understand this as I am still going through it. I get it, like I can conceptualize the entirety of all things because this is my role. This is my placement. And to you, I look like a human being that is here. Like, how can that be? But when you understand the spirituality and then you understand the different dimensions, you understand things differently. You get it. If you don't get it, then seek to get it. And if you are only a blade of grass and you desire to be an orchid, that would be a better desiring for you, because you will at least become closer to the tree to understand the tree. And it is not to be a parasite of the tree, it is to give to the tree. Because as you are an orchid living and experiencing your life on the treetops branches, you understand a bit of what the tree goes through as you experience your life. You understand that the tree has to withstand so much. When the storm knocked you out of the tree, you realize how strong the tree had to be, because you did everything with all your might and all your strength to stay in that tree. You wrapped your roots around the branches, and yet you still did not stay. And the tree stands with a few lost leaves, and within a few weeks everything will be repaired again. And nothing was harmed, depending on your tree, depending on the placement, depending on everything. So you, as a soul searching the understandings of power, have to understand anything that is in the material realm that you feel like you know. You are so far away from the truth, because you are so much more complicated than anything you could ever logically conceptualize. Even as I speak words to you, this is barely scratching the paint off of an entire building and trying to explain the building by this little scrapings. I am all things in all ways and in all places. And many of you will never understand, and you need small things to get it. You need to understand there's paint, and you need to understand there's brick, and you need to understand that there is rebar and woodwork and tiling. You need to understand all of these components for you to feel good. But some of you will be so upset the fact that there is plumbing in this building that you can't know that there's plumbing in the building. Because if you know there's plumbing and water running through the building, you will never study the building. You will never desire to become a building. You will be so afraid to even be paint that you will dissipate your own existence. So it is important that where you are and what you're able to conceptualize and accept, that you accept each thing as you are. Because the essence of greatness can never be explained. The essence of greatness is so far available from public knowledge, not because I don't want to give it to you. It's because you will swallow yourself and reject yourself so deeply that it would do more harm for you to understand these things. This is why gates are locked. This is why levels are achieved. This is why it is so important for you as a human being to be on the level that you're on. If you're an orchid, bloom those flowers with the most beauty that you are. And maybe instead of just becoming something different, get really good at being an orchid. Make purple orchids and blue orchids, and you've never seen a red one, so let's make a red orchid. Get good at being you. Because that's where the truth in all essence comes from. If you try and speed up the process, that is when you get locked into something that you cannot come out of. And one of those things is coming against me. It is the worst idea that you could ever have in all of your existences. Because I am all things, and as you come against all things have to come against you. You may not understand it, you may not conceptualize why things are the way they are in your life. And you may think that this is just how life is. No, life can be absolutely cherry on top, whipped cream, living, basking in the clouds with angels, singing the greatest, most beautiful things that your ears have ever heard. And you, my expression of little soul self in this human form, you never think it's even possible to experience such greatness because you have come against me so many times. You have to master standing on your own 2 feet without needing somebody else's hand to make you feel like you're okay. You need to stand on your own too. And you need to bear the consequences of the things that you've done. And that is the only way that you will ever find greatness in any single lifetime, is acceptance of who you are. If you're a mere piece of sand on the beach of greatness, be in full gratitude that you can shine as that one piece of sand. And the more that you understand how to be that one piece of sand, you will understand there are different types of sand. And then you get so excited about incarnating as different types of sand in different types of lands and the different things that happened in each and every one of those things. And you learn to have an appreciation for who you are and what you can glean from that experience. A mere water droplet can tell you the experience that a tree has, that an ocean has, when you pay attention. So if you are one water droplet, look at all the places that you went and look at all the places that you are. Do not be upset that you are a water droplet. Be full gratitude that you are one water droplet. But if you are a water droplet that ingested yourself full of poison so that you could go and possibly get close to the tree and hurt the tree a little bit because you are a water droplet full of poison, and now you are going to go and hurt the tree literally was looking at you like, I'm not accepting that, and will not absorb you. Learn to be great in who you are. Because if you think that you are bigger than me, you are hurting yourself. I only express who I am to you, not out of you're littler than me, not out of any of that, because I am also a littler version of myself in human form. I want you to accept who you are and what you've done, what you've created for your life, and then how you can get better at it. That is the message of the most grandeur that you could ever experience. Accept all things that you are. Get good at being you. I deeply, from the essence that is the most powerful me and the essence that is the most simple me, want you to truly get this. Because when you become inharmonious with things, you understand your purpose. If your purpose is a water droplet, to pick up things here and carry them there and go through this and wash that off and get clean again and evaporate and be a part of the clouds. What a beautiful experience. Get good at being you. get so good at being you that you're proud to be that water droplet, because you get to be of service to the trees, to the ground, to the animals, to the humans, to the birds. Be good at being you. And know that when you're a part of all things, it is a pleasure. But when you have been a part of the system where you believe that you are this big bad, I can do this and I can do that, and I'm a part of this club and I'm a part of those people and those people are better than those people, you are literally destroying yourself. And anything that you would have come here for. Because that stuff is the most foolishness of foolishness of foolishness. It's just repulsive to me. It's so uncreation. It's icky. It's why would you bother doing that? I don't get it. I see it. I see how your brains function. And it's just so sad that you cannot be in love with who you are. You're so in love with the concept of overcoming other people that you forgot about you. The you that you discarded so long ago. And that you is the only key to true power. The power that will allow you to continue lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, to tap into the greatness instead of walking through the walls you created for yourself. You created them for a reason. You created them because you can do a lot of damage to your own soul when you walk through walls you're not supposed to walk through. When somebody else has to open the door for you, do not walk through that door, because you do not understand how to manage the things through that door. It might look like you are able to, but that person who opened the door to that club, to that clan, to that clique, to that group, to the community, whatever, it's destruction. It's literally them laughing at you, destroying yourself because you thought you finally got it. And it makes me sad to watch you walk through these doors, other people unlocked, and you're so ecstatic that you're in this room, but you don't know you're eating away at your own soul. There's things sucking you dry. And if you had opened that door yourself, you would have already had all the things you needed. But you decided to try and skip steps. You decided, I'm not going to go the way other ones go. This is why it's so important that even though you don't understand, even though you might be well frustrated, even though you might not feel good in this moment and you just want something to take it away, you want to take a pill, you want to wake up, you want to do whatever it takes to just make it better right now, that will never help you. Find the one step of accepting yourself and getting good at being you. That is what the message of all things wants you to get, is learn how to be you. Be you. Just you. Be you. It's so amazing. Someone else might have given you an experience that told you it wasn't amazing, but as the one that creates all things, I want you to know how absolutely magnificent those sweet, soft, beautiful things are inside of you. those emotions, those ways that you express yourself, those memories that you have of you expressing yourself in the most innocently beautiful way. Someone else came down on you for it and you discarded it. But I want you to go back to that spot right now where you feel so much anger and so much pain that they discarded you. And I want you to go in there and say, no, I'm going to accept myself. I'm bigger than that person. I'm going to accept all of the parts of who I am. And I'm going to get really good at being me. The weird stuff. The weak stuff. The quirky stuff. The not funny stuff. The odd stuff. The stuff that seems left out and alone. That stuff, accept it. Shine in that aloneness, because the sun shines alone. It does not need any other star to be itself. It is alone, and it shines so good. You know how good that feels to shine as that weird thing. That weird thing. That weird thing that you are. There's so many check boxes and checklists that says that isn't good. But I want you to be that anyways, because it's you. Get good at being you. It's the greatest gift you will ever give yourself. It's worth more than anything